In question 8, Martin is going to cover his driveway with gravel. The gravel will be 6 centimetres deep. Gravel is sold in bags. There's 0.4 metres cubed of gravel in each bag. Each gravel costs £38. Martin gets a discount of 30% of the cost of gravel. Work out the total money Martin pays for the gravel. So the first thing we need to do is we have to work out the volume of the driveway. And we do that by using the fact that we know that it's going to be shaped like a cuboid. And we want the length times the depth times the width to give us our volume. Now we've got the length is 11 meters, the width is 4 meters, and the depth is 6 centimeters. Notice the change in units. So therefore the volume will equal 11 times 4 times, now there's 100 centimeters in a meter, so that's going to be 0.06 meters deep, and we can just quickly work that out on our Desmos. And we get our answer 2.64 meters cubed, and a common mistake is to use 6 here and get 264. Now that each bag is 0.4 meters cubed of gravel, so we've got to divide this by the 0.4 to find how many gravel bags we need. So the number of bags will equal 2.64 divided by 0.4. So let's get that answer, and we divide it by 0.4, and we get 6.6. And each gravel bag costs £38. Now what we realise is that with number of bags 6.6, he will have to actually buy 7 bags of gravel. Now I think you probably get most of the marks if you use 6.6 or 7, but 7 is obviously going to be the right way to go about doing this question. So we've got the costs will be 7 times £38. So let's just do that. 7 times 38, and you get £266. And he gets a discount of 30% off the cost of the gravel. So if he gets 30% off, that means he's going to get 70% is going to be how much he pays. So that's a multiplier of 0.7 times £266. So if we get that answer and times by 0.7, we get £186.2. So that is how much he's going to pay for the gravel. Right, in this question we're going to work out how many more minutes it takes for the tank to be 85% full of oil. Okay, this is 85%, only filled to 85% of capacity. Now, after 1 minute, there's 300 litres in oil in the tank, and we've got to work out how many more minutes. So do remember, we're going to have to take off that minute at some point. First of all, we need to find the volume of our tank. So let's do that. We know the volume is going to be equal to this area here times by the length. Put that out so we can see all the stuff. So to find the area of a trapezium, call it A, B, and H, we do A plus B over 2 times by the height of the trapezium. So we're going to do 1.4 plus 3 divided by 2 times by 2.4 to get our area. So let's clear all that. 1.4 plus 3, let's put that in, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So answer divided by 2, and then I'm going to times that by 2.4. Put the answer in again. There we go, and we get 5.28 as our volume of the whole. Sorry, not a volume, that's our area. Okay, of the trapezium. Now to get the volume, we need to obviously times by the length of our prism. So we do the cross-sectional area, 5.28, times by the length of the prism. This is a prism. We've got a constant cross-sectional area going on here that you can see all the way through the shape. So we're going to times that by 2.5. Let's just get on a new line. Answer times by 2.5, and we get 13.2 meters cubed is our volume. Remember, this is meters squared. So we found out the volume of our tank when it's completely full, but we're only going to fill it to 85%. So 85% is the same. We've got 85% is the same as going timesing by 0.85. Divide that by 100. We turn this into decimal. So that gives us the volume that we're going to fill our tank to. So let's times by 0.85, and we get 11.22 is our capacity. Now we know that 1 meter cubed equals 1,000 litres. So 11.22 times 1,000 gives us our volume in litres. So we're going to move decimal place 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be 11.220. If you're not sure, you can always times that by 1,000 using your calculator. And that gives us our total number of litres. But we've used up 300s in the first minute. So let's take off that 300. So my answer minus 300 gives us 10,920, and that gives us how much more we've got to fill it by, and we're going to fill it up with 300 litres every minute. So if we do 10,920 divide by 300, that will give us our number of minutes. So let's divide that by 300, and we get 36.4 minutes. When we were asked in part B, the assumption about the rate of flow could be wrong. So it could be more than 300 litres per minute, or it could be less than 300 litres a minute. So therefore that will change the time. So it'll be longer if less oil flowing in, or if the rate of flow is lower. Okay, and it will be shorter if rate of flow is greater. Would be a full answer, but you probably, it's only a 1 mark question, so you probably get enough just by saying that it would change the time of our answer, because we'll have a faster or slower rate of flow. All right, here we have a tricky ratio question. We've got Liam, Sarah and Emily showing some money in the ratio 2 to 3, sorry, getting ahead of myself there, 2 to 3 to 7. And we know that Emily got £80 more than Liam. So in terms of ratio, he's got 2 parts, she's got 3 parts, and Emily's got 7 parts. So Emily's got 5 parts more than Liam, and that's equal to £80. So therefore 1 part of the share will equal 80 divided by 5. And you should know that's 16. So each part is 16, and we want to know how much Sarah got. So 3 times 16, and you get £48 for Sarah. Right, in this question we got Jane making almond biscuits. She had these amount of ingredients, and the ingredients to make 24 almond biscuits is this. She made as many almond biscuits as she could using the ingredients she had, so therefore she's going to have to exhaust one of the sets of ingredients to make as much as she can. So let's find the most she could make. Say she used up all her flour, or all her butter, all her icing sugar, or all her almonds. So if we do flour, which is 5 kilograms, which is 5,000 grams, divide by the flour needed for the recipe, we can see that 5 kilograms of flour, she can do 33.3 lots Okay, if she exhausts all her flour. If you do kilograms of butter, well, that's easy. 3,000 divided by 100 is 30 lots. And if she exhausts the icing sugar, so you've got 2500 divided by 75, and you get 33.3 occurring again. And then look at the almonds, and you can see you get 32. So if she makes as many almond biscuits as she can, she makes 30 lots, she's going to run out of butter. She makes 32 lots, she runs out of almonds. 33 lots, runs out of icing sugar. So she's not going to get to the almonds, icing sugar, or flour, because she's going to run out of butter before she gets them. So she's going to make 30 lots, and there's 24 almond biscuits made in the recipe, so therefore total equals 30 times 24. 24 times 30, and you get 720 biscuits. So if she makes as many almond biscuits as she could using the ingredients she had, work out how many almond biscuits she made. So we've done that part of the question. Now part B. So we've got 720 biscuits. She sold 70% of the biscuits she made for 25p each. So we're going to find out what 70% of the biscuits is and sell the other 30% at 4 for 55p. So let's do 70%. So that's going to be the same as 0.7 times 720. So let's get a new line, answer times 0.7. Now, if you're not getting a whole number answer, it's quite probable you made a mistake up until this point. It's a good way to work out whether you made a mistake or not. And we want to find the total cost of that. So you've got 504 times 0.25 to get pounds. So let's do that. Answer times 0.25 gives 126 pounds. And then if we do the 30%, you can either do it using the original amount, so you could just do 504 away from 720, and that would obviously give you 216. So that's 216. Now it's just going to do 4 for 55p. So we need to divide that by 4, and then times by 0.55, because obviously she's only getting 55 pence for every 4. So we've got to divide that by 4 first. So a new line, 216, divide by 4. Times by 0.55, and we get 29.7 pounds for that. So that's her total amount of money she gets is 126. So total revenue is that. So we've got 126 plus 29.7. So just to answer plus 126. And gives us 155.7, and the cost is 45 plus 27, so that's 65. That's going to be 72 pounds. So if we want to work out the percentage profit over the cost, you do 155.7 divided by 72. So do our answer divided by 72, which gives us 2.1625. So that as a percentage is 216.25%, but we want to see the percentage profit. And the percentage profit is, we're going to take off the original 100%, so the percentage profit is 116.25%. Right, we're on a farm. Number of cows to number of sheep in ratio 6 to 5. Number of sheep, number of pigs in ratio 2 to 1. So this is quite a tricky question here. So we've got cows to sheep and sheep to pigs. So cows to sheep and sheep to pigs is our ratio. So cow to sheep, we've got 6 to 5. And we've got sheep to pigs in the ratio 2 to 1. So what we need to do is to find something that these both go into to work out how all these relative ratios work. So if we do cows to sheep to pigs, and we know 5 and 2 both go into 10, then we can work out a ratio of pigs and cows to that 10. So when we had 5, we had 6. So when we got 10, we'll have 12 cows. And here we had 2 sheep, okay, and 1 pig. So we've got 10 sheep, okay, we'll have 5 pigs, half as many. So that's our ratios of everything to each other. Now we know the total number of cows, sheep and pigs in the farm is 189. So we've got a total of 27 parts. Is equal to, what was that, 189. And we want to find out how many sheep are on the farm. So let's do 189 divided by 27 gives us 7. Now remember, you've got to put your 1 part back into here because we're not using these ratios anymore. We're using this ratio for the problem. So the number of sheep is going to be 10 times 7, which is 70 sheep. Right. Question 13. Kate invests £2,000 in savings account for 3 years. The account pays interest at an annual rate of 2.5%, then X%, then X%. So our first multiplier, okay, is 1.025. And our second multiplier, we don't know, let's just call it M. And we've got another multiplier, same one, as M. So that's going to be all our multipliers we're going to use to increase the savings. So what we've got is we've got 2,124.46 is the total amount at the end. And that's going to be equal to the 2,000 times by the 1.025 times by M times by M. Well, that's the same as M squared. So what we can do straight away to get M squared, divide by 2,000 and divide by 1.025. So we've got 2124.45 divide by 2,000 and divide that by 1.025. Oops, get the answer. Divide by 1.025, and that gives us 1.0363 and so on equals M squared. So therefore we can square root that answer. So square root the answer, and therefore we get M is equal to square root of 1.036 and all that, which is equal to 1.01799 and so on. So the rate of interest in the second year, rate of interest, if we just take off we know if we turn that into a percentage, we get 101.799%. So effectively that's just going to be 1.8% is our rate of interest to two significant figures. In the second half of this question, Katie goes to work by train. The cost of a weekly train ticket increases by 12.5% to 225. So there's the cost originally, and we're going to times it by something to get 225. Well, 12.5% increase is the same as making the total increase 112.5%. So therefore the decimal is 1.125. Sorry, write that out properly. 1.125. So we're going to times by 1.125 to get to 225. So to get the original cost, we need to divide by 1.125. So let's get that there. 225 divide by 1.125, and we get 200. So writing your working onto your sheet over 1.125 is that answer of £200. So do remember, when undoing percentages, remember we're going to have a multiplier to get to the new amount, so therefore we'll divide by that multiplier to get to our old amount.